You've seen watercolor tutorials before, but has anyone shown you this Hake tool? Just might change the way you paint your watercolors. So I thought we'd try something a little different today. We're going to do a little two-color study. So I've got the Prussian blue here and the English Venetian red from Schmincke and a little bit of the sepia, just in case. But I think we should be able to make a lot of colors with these. This color is very, it's got some yellow tones to it, so it should be fine to just try it with these two colors. There's a gentleman that I follow named Gary over at GKC Art who paints these just beautiful, moody landscapes. So we're going to try to do a little Gary-inspired video today. I'll leave a link below in the description. His work is just phenomenal. So let's start off with a little bit of Pit Pastel, a little dark. Now, he doesn't put lines in his work, but we're just going to be inspired by Gary. We're not going to copy Gary, because nobody needs that. Nobody wants to copy Gary. Well, maybe some people do, but I don't. I'm in a very rambly mood today. Apologies in advance. So we're just going to start off with something like we normally start with our marks, as you do. Okay, I don't need a lot of marks. And we're going to be using this Hake brush today. Holds a lot of water. And we're just going to put down some layers of water through here. And we want it to be wet, but we don't want it to be like really, really sopping wet. And I am painting on a board today. I've been using this old canvas board because I don't really paint on canvas boards. And I don't know where, I guess I bought it for a project that I didn't ever do. So you want it to be just a little bit of glistening. So yeah, I bought this board. I have two of them, and I've just kind of been using them because they're nice and sturdy. So I'm going to take some tape. I'm just going to slide it underneath this board a little bit so we get a little bit of gravity working with us here, just to see what that does, because I've seen a few people do that. So we're going to try it. Okay, let's mix up some colors. The only thing is I won't be able to put my palette over here on screen, but I'll try to hold it up as much as possible. So here we have the English red. I'm going to mix some Prussian blue in here. I'm going to start off with a dark. I want this to be pretty dark. I thought about trying this with my Boku Undo set of Japanese watercolors, but I thought we might try this first. Okay. So that's the color we're working with. So I kind of want it to be like darker at the top and then sort of lighter at the bottom. And that's not nearly enough color. I do like this brush though. I haven't used it enough. I've only used it maybe twice. It does leave bristles, so that's something to notice. Okay, we got more color here. We're still wet. Look at that. That's moody. So the one thing that Gary does is that he will put down some layers. Put down a layer of paint and then comes back in after it's dry, re-wets, and starts over. So we're gonna try that out today. That's already way, way darker than I thought. But I'm gonna put some water on here. Just a little bit more water. Let's see if we can't get a little bit more tilt here. And kind of let it do its thing. Use the color shaper. What happens if we kind of just move it around with the color shaper? Ooh, that's dramatic. I like that. Oh, I like this. I am using cold press paper today. I really wanted that texture. Okay. I'm trying to figure out what I want the sky to do. I think I kind of want it to be... I want it to be dramatic, but I don't want it to be like all dark, if that makes sense. Let's move some of this around. We're going to see. This could be an epic failure. Okay, I'm going to let this dry, and then we'll come back. So I've changed my mind. Before we do that, let's put down a little bit of this color down here. Before we get into that, I'm going to add just a teeny bit of red in there as well, of the English red, just on top. I know this brush is super big, but that's kind of the point. Like I think that's kind of the point. I'm trying to do something a little different because I feel like I've been in a little bit of a rut. I was looking at my Instagram feed yesterday, and it looks like one big giant painting. I don't know if that's good or bad. Put some lines in here. Put some lines up here in the sky. Okay, let's see how this dries, and then we'll come back. Okay, so the great part is once it's dry, you can absolutely come back in, and you're not really going to disturb those layers. We're working with such little water. We don't want a lot of water again. And because we're using textured paper, that paint's really going to grab onto those bumps and ridges and stay put. It looks a little darker, but that's just because it's wet. So we're going to come in with a darker, more Prussian blue, less red, more Prussian blue in here. And then I just kind of want to bring like little parts of this through here. I don't want it everywhere. I think I just want it through here and maybe a little bit down here. And you can see how that's already getting a little bit more dramatic. It's a little bit more. What if we came in, let's do just some straight up Prussian blue through here. And we're still tilted, so hopefully I think it's working. I don't know. I'm just trying something different because, you know, you gotta get moody sometimes. I try not to be too fussy here. Ooh, I like that. I think I like everything kind of pushed off that way. Okay. Now I've added in the sepia color, but I'm going to add a little bit more red to this bottom part. It's kind of almost like a warm gray color. Okay, let me make sure. Yeah, papers. Oops. I'm going to add just a little bit of the sepia gray tone through here, and maybe just a touch through here. Ooh, that's fun. I like that. And remember, these are going to dry lighter, so you maybe can be a little bit more adventurous. Let's put some of that, a little bit more of that red, English red in there, just a little bit through there. I feel like I'm talking like Bob Ross today. Oh, speaking of which, let's put Bob in here. See what Bob has to say.
Anything we don't like, you turn it into a happy little tree or something. Because as you know, we don't make mistakes. We just have happy accidents.
Bob Ross inspiration for the day. Sorry, I like Bob Ross. I don't think I've shared this story before, but when I was a kid, I watched Bob Ross, but I only had like a black and white TV. So I would just paint whatever colors and try to copy him. And though I didn't really know what colors he was using because I couldn't see the colors. He said orange, I put orange. He said green, I put a green. And they were just like the craziest looking paintings I think I've ever seen in my life. But still so fun. Okay, let's let this dry. Okay, I've got a pretty thick mix here of the Prussian blue and the Venetian red. I put my paper down again So this is our third time over. I'm not gonna brush it out this time. we're just gonna put some of this color down. And I might have to switch to a different brush. I don't know. I feel like I'm not getting enough saturation here on the paper as I want. Although that's pretty good. It's just a different tool. So maybe that's, ooh, that's fun. That was a fun mark. Don't touch it. I might feather it out a little bit, but I'm not gonna touch it really. Ooh, drama. I like that. I'm gonna get out my tiny little oval brush here. And we're just gonna put, I really want some more of these, of this English red through here. It's really hard to paint with that big brush. Like when you wanna do something. Ooh, that's fun. Okay. I like how the colors are kind of running together. That's exciting. What do you guys think? Drop a comment if you're liking this. And don't forget to like and subscribe. That's something you could do. Shameless plug, I know. This English red is so, it overtakes literally everything. Like it's really domineering. Like I'm using so little of it and it just, that's kind of an interesting like sort of purpley color through there. That's really nice. Let's make some marks like this. I do like this Hake brush because you can make some pretty distinctive marks. Let's add some more of this darker mix through there. I kind of like what that's doing. I like this area with that. Okay, I just want to add just a little bit more of the pure like English red. Oh God, that's way too much. See what I mean? It's just so powerful. It's so much. Okay, that's a lot. Yeah, I didn't want that much. I don't hate it. Actually, I don't mind it, maybe. I don't know. Let me, let's get a palette knife out somewhere. Oh, here it is. What if we, I'm just gonna scrape. Oh, that's kind of fun. Okay, I love that. Ooh, those are fun marks. Okay. Again, happy accidents. I'm gonna leave that because that's fun. Okay. All right. I see you, watercolor. Because we are getting to the, I really don't want to wet the whole thing down again because I don't, at some point it's gonna get too saturated. I feel like we might be almost there. Okay, this is almost straight out of the tube. There is, I think I put one little tiny drop of water on there. I just want this to be as dark as we can possibly get it. I am gonna scrape back in because, yeah, I really like that mark I accidentally made over there. But look how much texture we can add back in here. Like it can be dark and still have like some texture. That's better than the knife, I think. Why have I never done that before? That's crazy. Maybe I haven't, I just forgot. But look at these sort of negative shapes we can make with the light. We can bring light back in. Okay, I'm gonna stop there before I overdo it. Ooh, but I like that. We'll see how that holds up. Okay, so here I've mixed up a little bit of the English red with some sepia. Look at that pretty color. I'm glad I decided to add sepia because I didn't, it just wasn't gonna be enough color, I don't think. The colors that Gary was using are a little bit different than what I have, so I kind of knew that this orange doesn't have a lot of yellow in it, so I just kind of want to bring this line through here. So we're cheating a little bit, but you know me, I make up my own rules. I do what I like. I'm not wetting the paper down this time. Just gonna do a dry on wet, or wet on dry. Yeah. I might want to bring, so I kind of like how that's coming through there, but what if, let me get a little bit more paint here. What if this was almost like a, let's do some marks like this. I'm gonna change up our mark making a little bit. What if the lines were going, ooh, that's fun. I like that. Like a little dry brush is always good, right? Kind of breaks up that space a little bit. Okay, I've got like a more sepia than red here. It's kind of fun. Let's see what this does. Let's see what kind of marks we can make. Did I even get enough paint on there? I don't know. I don't think I got enough paint on there. Oh, there we go. It's kind of working. You can make these fun marks like that. I don't know that I want too many of them, but those are going to be really subtle. They're going to dry pretty quickly. I'm going to add a little bit of this Prussian blue color with the sepia and the red. I just added a little blue to that mix. Get a little bit almost of a green tone going on here. I think I want that to be a little lighter though. I know it's going to dry lighter, but I kind of want it to be pretty subtle. I like that. We could probably add a little bit of it up here through this area. Okay, I'm gonna go back and scrape back in a little bit just to add some more marks through here. This is just an easy, cheap way to add marks. Like honestly, like it's so easy. Because all the lines you make through here are gonna seep in. I kind of have stopped using my palette knife because, or I'm sorry, my craft knife because about a week ago, I cut through an entire sheet of paper and I had to start over and it was really awful. So I've kind of gotten away from the craft knife a little bit. Okay, so I'm trying to stay within our palette here. I've got two oranges here. One is the sanguine, which is pretty nice. And then I also have this English red, which is a lot darker. So those two are going to be good. Then of course I've got some grays here. This umber color, which I think will be a nice dark. This is the Ultra, or the Prussian blue in the Caran d'Ache Neocolors. Ooh, that's kind of fun. Of course, I have a yellow ochre because we need some yellows and white. Let's see what we can do with these colors. I think I'm going to start with the white first because I really want to bring in some of, I want to put some white back in here a little bit. I feel like we lost a little bit. And like when I'm editing photos, I'm bringing the highlights back, as they would say. And I like this little, those marks that we made in there are pretty successful. I think we need some up here. Maybe. Very textured on this paper. Maybe let's get it a little wet and see what that does. Sometimes if you get them a little wet, they react differently. I'm gonna come in with my smaller brush and maybe just a little damp. See if we can't. I'm not sure I like all that texture up there in the sky. don't want it to look put on, you know what I mean? I want it to look like it. I think that did something. Let's add some of this Prussian blue, which I've obviously never used. That crayon is very sharp. I'm going to press down a little bit harder here. Oh, I like that. I definitely want some more color through here. And I'm just going to make some lines. So what I'm doing right now is I'm coming back in and lifting out some of this red. I just didn't really, now I like it, but I didn't like how just bold that was. Okay, for the ochre, I'm gonna do deli paper. I'm just gonna make some marks because I don't want a lot of this yellow. I just want it to be pretty subtle. Okay, I'm gonna add more of these lines through here. Sometimes you gotta change up your paper a little bit. I think I want some coming this way. There we go. I really wanted some down here. I'm gonna use the side here to scrape back in. Ooh, that's fun. I like that mark. I might want to do the same thing like right through here. Using the side of the palette knife rather than the end to really just sort of, ooh, that's fun. And I probably could have made that mark by just drawing it. Where's the fun in that though? Why draw when you can scrape? Okay, that really did something to it. I don't think we need a lot more of that ochre color. Okay, while I was preparing the black, I saw this blue, and I think we need some blue marks through here. Maybe coming down this way. These might read as black. Oh, that's really good. No, that's good. Ooh, that's really nice. I like that. I might still add some black. The blue marks are nice. I don't know that I need the black. Maybe one little bit of black, like coming through here a little bit. You guys know I'm obsessed with black lines, right? I'm just really obsessed with them. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna add a few more of these blue marks up here, and then I think we're done. I don't think I'm gonna add more black. Thought about it. Those are really pretty lines. Probably need to continue them down here a little bit so they kind of feel like there's some sort of something going on there. I'm gonna add some charcoal through here. This corner over here just seems kind of bland to me, and this is just regular charcoal. It's not charcoal, tinted charcoal or anything. Okay, here it is with the matte. Things that I like. I like the Hake Brush. I love the painting over, rewetting technique. I think that really worked out really well. So subtle in here, these oranges and these blue tones, gray tones, sort of mixing and melding together. Don't know what those lines are. Weird. I also really like what we did down here with the Caran d'Ache Neocolor Choose. That the blue marks that we made with scratching back in with the deli paper are really dynamic and fun. I like the subtle yellows. It did really need some pops of yellow. I know I said it was going to do 2 colors, but I lied. I always like to have all the primary colors in there, and if it doesn't have it, it feels left out to me. I really like this bright white bit through here. I was going to add more, but I think that really stands out right there. And that's nice. And the charcoal really darkened up this area that was looking a little flat, a little bland. Overall, very happy with this one. It's got a real nice feeling to it. It's got lots of good energy. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about what we did today? And let me know what you'd like to see more of. I've noticed that some of you have been posting in the community, which is amazing. You guys are doing some really cool work, and I love seeing what you're working on. So I'll be back next week with another video. Until then, don't forget to like and subscribe. Watch another video if you have time. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much. Bye.